What is something that feels, maybe, in a paragraph, feels unresolved, if there's a judgment that you have of yourself?
That I'm not very reliable toward myself, just lack of consistency.
Okay.
And I see it present
In all
everywhere.
areas of your life.
Oh, yeah.
There's a big judgment.
Yeah, like a beating myself up kind of judgment.
Okay, so how do you, yeah. So oftentimes the critic thinks that it's helpful. It thinks if I beat myself up, then I can get myself to change. It uses fear like this, like, oh yeah, I didn't do that right. But underneath that, it wants you to do well. So if we give voice to the part, like how do you hear it inside yourself? If we exaggerate a little bit, some of that judgment, or we give it permission, it's not you, it's just energy, and it's just a thought pattern. It's not the truth of who you are.
And it really gets into more like, I struggle with commitment. I won't do these things.
So let's just take a moment to just drop into that sensation in your body. It's okay if there's energy or emotion there. We're just dropping into it, getting more intimate with it. How does it speak?
You gotta fix this.
It brings up some sadness. Yeah.
You gotta change.
Yeah. It's almost like the critic's up here telling you gotta change, and then there's sadness underneath that. Yeah. And so if we just tend to the sadness underneath, if you can just fully connect with that in your chest and in your body. Yeah. Breathing into it.
Yeah. I'm not enough. And I won't be until I get consistent. And if I'm not consistent, then I'll never be enough.
Yeah. Okay. So now I can completely see the map. Okay. So the critic is trying to make sure that you are consistent so that you feel enough and you reach your goals.
Yeah.
Is that what you want? Do you want to feel enough and reach your goals? Yeah. Yeah. So let's just look at the critic. Is it working the way that it's kind of beating you up?
It's not helping me be consistent, no.
That's right. Okay, so good to notice. Good to notice. Not good or bad. It's like, oh, the critic has a good intention. It's trying to make sure that I'm good enough and that I'm consistent and I reach my goals. We both want the same thing.
Yeah.
But I hear that the method of beating yourself isn't actually effective. Not good or bad, because we don't want to judge the criticism, which is more another layer of judgment. So the way out through this is compassion. The way out is compassion always. So let's just imagine that you have a little girl that you see in the corner. You walk into this room and a little girl's in the corner and she's crying because she just got beat up by this inner bully. Okay? Okay, you walk into the door in the room. What do you do? What do you say to her?
Obvious.
What do you tell her? What do you tell her?
You are enough. Like, you are enough.
Yeah. So let's connect that, because it's up here. So let's connect that in your chest, in your body, connecting with her directly. So then tell me what's present.
Assurance.
How does that feel?
Strong. Yeah.
So it's just good to notice what's effective and what's not. That's all we're looking at. It's like the critic wanted to make sure that you were feeling good enough and you were successful.
Yeah.
It just had an ineffective method.
Yeah.
But it has a beautiful intention.
Yeah.
And what I heard you say is that being compassionate with the critic actually was the way out.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I get curious. One thing that I've been through a very similar situation, and for me, one of the learnings, and you can see if this works for you as well, but one of the learnings for me was like that I could love myself through all of it.
Yeah.
I got to choose to be loving with myself regardless of my performance, and to claim my inherent worth and value independent from my achievements.
Right.
And that life loved me so much that it wanted me to get that. And then ironically, when I got that, things started clicking. Things started coming into place.
Right. And that clicked. To love the inner critic never clicked for me, I don't think, clearly.
Until now.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And that is a lifelong lesson.
Yeah.
Because the critic's here and it has a good intention, and then we're criticizing on top of it, building and deepening the pattern of criticism.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel good and it actually doesn't work. So it's like 100% of the time the way out, acceptance. It's like, I'm supposed to be judging, and then you're out. And then it's a game, and then you're laughing at it. You're not caught in it, you're out, because acceptance opens that aperture.
Yeah.
So I love that you got that, and you can be like, I'm supposed to be judging, and then you're out 100% of the time, and it's instant. It doesn't matter how far off you've been judging.
Right.
That moment you choose is grace, and you're open.
Yeah. I want to write it all down.
Yeah, write it all down, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.